The Eastern Cape of South Africa, the birth region of the legendary icon Nelson Mandela, is losing the war against hunger and malnutrition. Throughout the Eastern Cape, there were 226 child deaths due to severe acute malnutrition and more than 2,000 hospital admissions between March last year and March this year. The Eastern Cape, due to its high unemployment, job scarcity and lack of individuals having basic earning skills, has been plagued with poverty for a number of years. Sadly, the women and kids suffer the most. The Fidaa Foundation interacts with many households who appeal for assistance. Your contribution may definitely grant a family with food for the day or a student the ability to concentrate for school lessons and maybe protect the horrendous trade of prostitution amongst even young girls. Be part of our drive to feed a household, donate a blanket, or provide basic shelter for our needy applicants and help restore the self-respect often wiped out by the ugliness and the effects of poverty. For a region with abundant resources and beauty, the poverty of the Eastern Cape casts a shadow of misery over the daily lives of many women and children. Will the strong not help the meek? Share their bounty with the helpless for the love of Allah Ta'ala. Please be that person to make a change to our province, the Eastern Cape. 3,856,000 of the Eastern Cape live below the breadline. Child-headed households exhibit the highest poverty, up to 50% in the Eastern Cape. Donate your zakah to our Muslim families. Help our children grow and enjoy the support of their Muslim brothers. Your zakah will help a Muslim family with the basics of life. Encourage them to hold fast unto the deen of Almighty Allah in tough circumstances. Our panel of ulama regularly monitors zakah recipients, ensuring that funding is spent in avenues explained by the Quran and Sunnah. All information is recorded online, ensuring transparency and efficiency. The Fidaa Foundation regularly collaborates with Muslim organizations who assist in our distributions and utilize our software to help in the food parcel distribution process. Many have testified that our online system is methodical and simple to record. It protects the wealth of donors and maintains the respect of the recipients of zakah. Food is a major concern in the Eastern Cape. With high unemployment, the children suffer the most. In answer to a question in Parliament, Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi said they have seen 8,228 children aged under 5 in the Eastern Cape for malnutrition over the past 3 years. He said the death rate over the past few years for the province was 11.9 for 100,000 children. It is one of the highest in the country. As Muslims, we need to assist our neighbors in need, to provide them with the basics of shelter and food so that despondency is not the belief of the day. The Fidaa Foundation has a number of other interventions to curb dependency on food parcels, like skills training, equipping breadwinners with a skill so that they can earn with dignity. The Eastern Cape's labor absorption rate was one of the lowest in all provinces at 39%. The Eastern Cape has the highest rate of joblessness. Fidaa Foundation has embarked on a mission to empower the helpless with basic skills to become independent. Your contribution will cause a desperate mom to be able to stand up in respect in otherwise a harsh economic world. Fidaa Foundation recognizes the need to skill individuals for future stability and independence. We have a list of applicants who desire sponsorship to fulfill their dream of financial security. Fidaa Foundation has sponsored individuals in the fields of security, nursing, plumbing, welding, and accountancy. Be part of the big picture. Sponsor an applicant for the future of a better life for all. We have accredited CETA sewing classes, baking classes, computer training, all offered free to recipients. A humble, sincere donation will make a huge difference. To break this vicious cycle of poverty, a skill is enough to bring stability to a household caught in the trials of unemployment. A study by Nelson Mandela University's Department of Dietetics last year looked at the health of 1,562 children in Motherwell and the Ibai areas below the age of 5. They found that 17% of children younger than 24 months were stunted due to malnutrition, as were 10% of children between 2 and 4 and 16% of children between 4 and 5. Reach out with your hearts and finance. Make a difference. Even the smallest of donations has a ripple effect over lives that matter. Help assist our madaris. Teach the noble Book of Allah. Reap great rewards of Sadaqah Jariyah by housing a center of deen, feeding learners and building masajid in much needed areas. Spread your legacy of gaining everlasting rewards by erecting a masjid where our Muslims will celebrate the greatness of His name and the teachings of the Sunnah. Help us organize youth programs for kids exposed to drugs and violence and coming from homes suffering from high unemployment. Equip a child with the love of the Quran and Sunnah. That nur of the Quran and Sunnah will protect against drugs and the evil of their surroundings. The success of a family is not built only on wealth, but its richness is inspired by the wealth of deen. The system of imparting Islamic education to children in the afternoons has for centuries proven to be a successful means to a solid foundation in deen. Through the grace, mercy and the help of Almighty Allah, we have established makatibs in mostly underprivileged localities beset by apostasy, drugs, alcohol and gangsterism. These social challenges are worsened due to us neglecting our responsibility in opening maktabs in these areas. Regretfully, we have forgotten our ummah, who have neither the means nor the resources to open and maintain a maktab or a musalla in their community. Currently, Fidaa, the Ta'alimi department, is operating 10 makatib with 16 ustads, 16 teachers, some male, some female, and approximately 262 pupils. With madrasas opening, inshallah, we hope to increase this amount soon. Workshops are conducted annually to improve the teaching skills of these teachers. Inspections are done regularly and completed inspection worksheets are promptly uploaded to real-time software platforms. This allows us to deal with issues immediately. Data is collected to monitor inspections, attendance, student count, parent visitations, meal supply, repairs, and the upkeep of premises. This allows us to administer with accountability to all our maktabs and track its progress and challenges. Meals are provided to students before classes to ease the pangs of hunger and enable them to concentrate in class. Monthly food supplies are provided to ladies residing nearby to prepare freshly cooked meals comprising of baked beans or macaroni, peanut butter and jam and sandwiches. Our masjid appeal. Fidaa Foundation currently manages and operates 10 madrasas or maktabs, of which many have been renovated earlier this year to serve also as musallas. Regretfully, there are only 5 masjids scattered in an area of 17 kilometers to serve the majority of Muslims residing in Port Elizabeth. Thus, commuting for Salah is dependent on transport to surrounding suburbs. The majority of the people residing in these areas are lower income earners and live in poverty-stricken areas. Fidaa Foundation has started on a campaign to build masajid in these areas, as the communities do not have the resources to build them. In these communities, there are so many churches, however, no masjids have been established to serve the Muslim community. Help us organize youth programs for kids exposed to drugs and violence and coming from homes suffering from high unemployment. A single youngster has the power to inspire a generation. Be part of that change and support our programs. The Fidaa Foundation has a dedicated youth branch named YOI, Youth of Islam. We work mostly with learners from government schools in communities with fewer resources. Our programs range from day programs to overnight stays, from courses that inculcate Islamic values to strolling in gardens of nature. Our dedicated team ensure progress and protection for each participant. YOI, or Youth of Islam, is a calling to our youth to walk with their heads high, with self-esteem and a feeling of joy to be Muslim and to be connected to this Ummah as the future of Islam. Spend and donate your zakah wealth. It will bring great changes for empty bellies who have no hope for a better day. And spend your lillah, uplifting the iman of the needy in the Eastern Cape of South Africa, the poorest of all provinces, building masajid and makatibs which endow hungry bellies on the name of Allah and the Sunnah of Islam. The Fidaa Foundation, operating 10 years in the Eastern Cape of South Africa, serving humanity for the pleasure of Allah.